everyone, my name is Laura. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on this video. So today is the long-awaited unboxing of my import order from Indonesia. These plants just got here probably about 15-20 minutes ago, and then I scrambled to put together something in some place where I could film me unboxing them for you. I do want to preface that I have never ordered from this company or this seller before. This is from Green Spaces ID. I know I usually don't like to share where I import from because I don't want to tell people or make people feel like they should also import from there, because sometimes you have good experiences and sometimes you have bad experiences. But people always end up asking anyways, so I end up sharing anyways, so I thought I would just put that out here in the beginning of the video before I get into it. These plants also were held up at customs for an additional day. I'm not sure why. I was never really given a reason why, but they are covered in a sticker that says that they were opened for inspection. Just all over. You can tell that they were just opened and then repackaged at the border. And so I don't know what that means. I don't know if they went and rifled through the plants or if they just kind of like peeked in and closed it back up. I guess we'll find out. So let's get to opening them. And there should be, I think, 5 plants. My mother-in-law and I did kind of a joint order. She ordered 2, I ordered 3. So let's get these open and see what's in here. I have my sticky scissors from my last video. Sorry, I'm like sitting on these pillows and it's not the most comfortable thing. This box like weirdly smells like the dentist office. I know that they put like a ton of chemicals on these plants as they're packaging them like to ship them, but it smells weirdly like the dentist office, and it's really throwing me off right now. They include a little thank you note as well as some instructions about how to care for your plant, and if there's any issues of your plant, how to claim or like make a claim. So that's really nice to have. Okay, I got the box open, so now I'm gonna start pulling out plant by plant and we'll see what we get first. The first plant that I opened here, and it did say on here it was a ghost, is this Philodendron Ghost that my mother-in-law ordered. She's been wanting one of these for a while, and I did order one for myself in my last import, and so this one's for her, and it looks amazing. It looks really great. It has some newer foliage that is very white and creamy, as well as some of that green older foliage and that kind of in the middle ground mint colored. And this leaf is really cool too. It's kind of in that process of changing from white to green. So this plant looks great. I'm very impressed. Let's pop open the roots and take a look at what they look like. Like I always say during these import unboxings, the roots are the most important part. You can have really beautiful foliage or really dead foliage, and the long-term success of your plant is going to be determined by the roots. It looks like they come wrapped in sphagnum moss with some like cling wrap and tape, which means this is going to be messy, but that's okay. Okay, I grabbed a little container to catch the moss as I open these up because moss was starting to fall everywhere. Okay, these roots look incredible. These are the best roots I've ever seen on an import. Do you see that? Like, I just don't even know how to express how amazing these roots look. Like, look at that. The roots are longer than, like if I fold it over, the roots are longer than the plant is. And they're beautiful. They're very white, very healthy. I'm looking very closely. I don't see any dead root. This one might be, I'm not sure. I'm going to leave this root on. This one might be a little bit not the healthiest, but the rest of them look amazing. So I'm not going to touch the roots. I know in the last one I showed you how I clip off the roots when they're not doing super well, but this does not need that. This plant is so healthy, so happy. She's going to love this. I'm really excited to give this to her. A great start. We are off to an amazing start with these roots and this beautiful, beautiful ghost. Let's move on to the next plant. Here is the next plant. I will be opening that. It looks like it was already open. I wonder if this is one of the ones they looked at customs because the whole paper was already open. This is a Syngonium Winlandii. And I know Syngonium don't tend to ship excellently, but this looks really good to me so far. There's one leaf, oh, here it is, with some damage on the tip, but that's okay. That's something we can always cut off, but the plant itself looks good to me. I'm gonna try to show you as much of it as I can. And now let's get into the roots and see what they look like. As far as I can tell through the cling wrap, I don't know how much you can see, there are just roots all the way down to the bottom, and they are chunky and white and look healthy. So I'm excited to open this up and see them. I got this guy all the way opened up, and it actually is 2 plants, each with 2 leaves, but the roots are so tangled up together. I'm trying to separate them without making a mess. There we go. So this actually was 2 plants, and I paid for 1, and it came as 1, so this is very, very exciting. The roots are massive again as well. They are not nearly as healthy, and I'm not as confident in them. Like this one, you can tell it's just kind of rot right there, so I'll probably snip that root somewhere up here. So it's not as healthy or as robust as the philodendron, but it's a syngonium. Syngoniums don't ship very well in general, so I'm actually very impressed by this. Look at those roots. I will be chopping some of those kind of unhealthy looking ones before I pot them up or stick them in moss. I'm still deciding what to do because I was going to put all these in moss like I usually do, but none of these roots need to grow out. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. But another one I'm very impressed by and very happy that there are 2. So exciting. Here is our next one, and I'll open it up and show you what it is and tell you what it is. So here's this one. This is a little baby Gloriosum. It's been on my wish list for a while now, so I'm very excited to be adding it. I love how little the leaves are. The only real Gloriosum I've seen, like in real life, the leaves are like massive, and so I was hoping for a little one, and I finally had found one, so I'm very excited. He's so cute, so little, so heart-shaped. And you can just see how velvety those leaves are. That's beautiful. The root ball looks a little bit smaller, but let's pop it open and see what it actually looks like. Okay, so here are the roots for this Gloriosum here. These are definitely not nearly as robust as the ones for the last 2 plants that we opened up, but they are very healthy, so nothing that needs to be chopped off as far as I can see. And this is an example of something I definitely want to stick in sphagnum moss for at least a month or so to let the roots kind of grow out into a more robust root system that can support new growth on this plant. So super content with this. This is an example of something that I expect when I import. This is an outlier. This Philodendron Florida Ghost is an outlier. So this is more of the like expectation. So I'm very satisfied with this. Obviously, still very shocked by the roots on this guy, but very satisfied with this. I will just be rooting him up a little bit more in some sphagnum moss, and maybe in a few months he'll be ready for soil, or if it's like the rest of my plants, he'll stay in sphagnum moss until the rest of his life, because that's where I leave my plants once I put them. But yeah, a beautiful one. Very excited for this one. Let's move on to the next one. Next, let's open up this little one. This one is a Hoya that I ordered for myself. So let's take a look at what it is. I mean, I know what it is, but I'm not telling you until I open it. And I've never imported a Hoya, so I'm very interested to see how Hoyas import. And here is this one. This is a Hoya Gianna, so another super cute little Hoya to add to my collection. That's kind of what the leaves are looking like. Very satisfied with the way the leaves look. I've heard Hoyas ship well, so I'm not super surprised, nor was I super concerned for this one. But yeah, let's look at the roots now. So here are the roots on this. Hoya roots are very thin, so they're kind of hard to see, but they're very long on this guy. Honestly, much longer than I was expecting, and they're very healthy. Just really want you to see, but they're so like spaghetti-like. Very healthy all the way down. That is a great root system. Honestly, this would probably be good to pot up in soil, but I really love growing out my Hoya in sphagnum moss, so this is probably another candidate for sphagnum moss. Again, this amount of roots is probably fine if you want to move it into soil, but my preference is sphagnum moss for my Hoyas that are not fully established yet. So that's where this will be going. We have 2 more to open. Let's get to them. Next is the last one that I ordered for myself. We'll wrap up with my mother-in-law's plant because I just took a peek in there and it looks amazing, and she ordered some cool plants, so I guess she'll be the bookends to this video. But this one is super fun. I've been super excited for this plant, and I will open it and show you. Whoa, this is a cool one. It's another one that came kind of open already, so I'm wondering if they checked this one at customs. But this is a Spathiphyllum Picasso. So it is a peace lily. It's a spathiphyllum, which are peace lilies, and it is the Picasso, meaning that it has these white colorations or variegation on it. I do have one variegated peace lily already. It is the domino, which I've shown before, but this is a different variation of those variegated peace lilies, and this is beautiful. It is, I'm so stunned by the colors of the leaves and the variegation patterns. There's an almost all white leaf that came in a little bit hurt, but that's okay. The leaf was all white, which all white leaves usually don't do super well, so I'm not super surprised, but like, look at that. That is beautiful. Like, this foliage is stunning. I'm very impressed. And I'm looking down at the roots, and without even opening it, I can just tell that it has some stunning roots. There's roots popping out the top of the packaging. Let's get these roots open, but I know that they're gonna be really healthy. Sorry, excuse me, what? Do you see these roots on this plant? Look at these. These roots are healthier than any roots on any plant that I've bought, like, locally. And these shipped across the world, the entire world. And we're in shipping for about a week and a half, and this is what the roots look like? What do they put in their plants? What the heck? Like, this is insane. I'm so impressed by this and blown away by the situation of the roots. They're so healthy and thick and just robust. Like, look at this root system, look at this plant. I'm just so shocked. So kudos to them for making sure that their root systems can sustain the plant that they're sending, because even when I have bought plants within the US, they haven't come in looking like this, which is expected. Like, they shipped. So that's why I'm so shocked that this is the situation I'm experiencing right now. This is awesome. I feel very lucky to have my plants come in like this, and I was concerned because they had stopped at customs and were held up for a day and inspected, and I thought these plants are gonna come in just like toast, and this is not toast. This does not look like toast. So yeah, spathiphyllum Picasso is looking great, and let's move on to the last one. Okay, we have our last plant. Like I said, this is my mother-in-law's plant. I'm excited to open it for you. It's smaller than many of the plants we've opened, but I'm promising you it's an exciting one. Just pause and admire this plant for a second. It is a Philodendron Para, which translates to green paradise, and that, my friends, looks like a green paradise. I am blown away by the beauty of this plant. I've never seen this plant in person. This leaf kind of got a little crushed, but it'll straighten out on its own here. I've never seen this plant in person, and just like the coloration, especially this leaf is the one that's blowing me away the most, is stunning. Just absolutely stunning. This leaf came in a little bit yellow, so I'm guessing it'll lose this one, but it also, if I kind of trace it back down to the node, it looks like the oldest leaf. Not super surprised by that if it loses this leaf after shipping, but I am just, holy cannoli, this is such a beautiful plant. Wow, just wow. Let's look at the roots on this guy. Okay, so we have another set of roots. That's something that I would expect from a import plant. So we have some kind of smaller roots, still all very healthy. Oh, there's a little piece of sphagnum kind of caught on there. None of these roots need to be chopped, which means that the plant does not need to regrow any roots, but it definitely has some room to grow. What's nice though is that the second node started rooting already, so this could easily get turned into 2 plants, or anchor these 2 down into the soil and just become a more robust system to support these 4 leaves and then some new growth on top of that. So there's a lot of options with this. So I love that. I love when my plants come in like that, because that makes me feel like, okay, if for some reason something happens to the main plant, we can save the plant, you know, which I don't think is going to happen here, but it's where my mind goes when I unbox plants. But this is something that I definitely would want to put in sphagnum moss, which I will before I hand it off to her. I will get it all situated in sphagnum moss so that the root system can grow out a little bit more, but it looks amazing. I am amazed by this plant. I've never seen one in person, and I'm super excited to watch this plant grow, because even though it's not mine, I still get to see it grow, which is super fun. So that is it. That's all the plants. I'm going to go through them all one more time so that you get kind of one last glimpse at all of them. So again, we have the Paraíso Verde. It's a philodendron. We have our Spathiphyllum Picasso, or Picasso peace lily, with just the insane roots. Philodendron Gloriosum, with the cute little roots that will grow out some more in sphagnum. And it has a nice growth point, which I forgot to point out, which is nice. It means it is actively growing. We have our little Hoya Gianna, which will also get popped into sphagnum. The Florida Ghost with the awesome root system that I don't think needs sphagnum, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this one. I might stick it in water along with the peace lily that I'm holding over here. I might stick it in water overnight and then just pot it up in soil. I think it's ready for that. And then the Wendlandii, which I'm very excited about, the Syngonium Wendlandii with another set of good big roots. That's all the plants that I will be unboxing today. So I don't think I'm going to go through how I'm going to kind of set them up. I do have a video on that if you're interested in seeing how I kind of like rehab or care for imported plants. I'll put it somewhere, I don't know where, but I'll make sure it's accessible to you. And I think maybe I'll do an updates video on these guys, maybe instead of going through what I'm going to do with them, because I actually am not really sure. There's some that, like I said, can go straight into soil, just need their roots rehydrated a little bit, and some that definitely need sphagnum for a little bit longer. So I'll end this video here. Let me know down below which one of these was your favorite. I don't think I could pick one, but I'm very impressed by the roots on that peace lily. Like, that Spathiphyllum is beautiful and the roots are incredible, so I think that one's the one that blew me away the most. But let me know what you thought. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Let me know what kind of content to make for you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.